Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, the Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, beautiful people. Let's get ready to rock it on in. If you're out there, let me know that you're there. And let's get this party started. All right, feed the ducks this morning. Pimpin' wearing you, you wearing the pimpin'. Life wearing you, or life doing you, or you doing life. Who do we have with us? Get the good mornings in. Get your plate so that you can take some of this food home. Brenda Davis says, happy everything, everyone, and happy Friday. Auntie Richetta says, good morning, Butterfly and Nephew, and everyone. Got the butterfly in the heart with me. All right. That's how we do it, y'all. That's how we do it. Groove on in. All right. Good morning, beautiful people. How's life doing you? It's a rainy Friday morning here. So, I don't know. I got to get out in it. So I have to make the best of it. But welcome to Daily Motivations for African American Success, where we've been coming to you now 240 days. Y'all can't believe that. 240 days. That seems... Man, I look at the book, look how much we've gotten through. It's pretty cool, huh? Pat yourself on the back for just showing up. Discipline. Why are we here? Why do we do this? What is this about, right? What is Daily Motivations for African American Success about, right? So it's a book by Dennis Kimbro. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead you to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, who is also the author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes, but also when to say no, and when to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans, such as, but certainly not limited to, Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Gout, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. But what it teaches will last a lifetime. Black Enterprise says that each affirmation in this valuable and thought-provoking book takes only a few minutes to read, but is worthy of more time for contemplation. So that's what the barbecue is about. Let's get right into today's topic. You deserve a break today. When I read this, I thought, wow, I'm gonna take it. I promise y'all, I'm gonna get y'all out of here so quick today. I'm gonna take this break. This is for me today. This is for me. Yesterday, I didn't get to go with Brandon. Y'all, for some reason, I just I told him, I said, my body just is saying no. My body is saying, you gotta stop. You can go, but I'm staying here. So I laid on the couch, and I slept just a little over an hour, but it felt like I slept a lifetime. And I had an event last night. So I did that, and I came straight home, showered, and went straight to bed. So got in bed about 9:30, just a little after 9:30, and I slept. Got up at 6:30 today. So this one's for me. This one's for me. And I need to make sure I stop and do that more often. But your body will tell you when it's time for you to sit down and rest. Your body will tell you for sure. But we should not wait until our body is responding in the way that my body was responding yesterday. So, you deserve a break today is today's topic. Our quote, let's face it, much of our community is tension filled. Without adequate methods to relieve this stress, many of us exist within a time bomb. Mm. So it says, let's face it, much of our community is tension filled. Without adequate methods to relieve this stress, many of us exist within a time bomb. That comes from Mr. Elders, who is a Surgeon General. In our passage reads, everything we do is either goal achieving or tension relieving. If a person is not happy with his progress, he should take a good, hard look at everything he does, the course of the everything he does during the course of the day. As he approaches his task, he should ask himself, is this goal achieving or tension relieving? We all need to relieve our tensions, but if we are doing too many things for escape and too few for achievement, we are going to hold ourselves back. Let me read that one again. We all need to relieve our tensions, but if we are doing too many things for escape and too few for achievement, we are going to hold ourselves back. Wouldn't it be interesting if we surveyed the average individual to determine how much time is devoted to goal achieving acts? We might be amazed to discover what a small amount, right, of time we actually spend preparing for the future. A doctor, for example, might spend 12 hours a day in the presence of his or her patients. Every minute with a patient would have to be labeled goal achieving. Time spent consulting with other physicians, however, would be labeled tension relieving. A teacher would consider time driving to and from school or in the cafeteria or the teacher's lounge as tension relieving. But preparing the next day's lesson over the kitchen table would be considered as goal achieving. There is, of course, a time to be idle, tension relieving, and a time not to be idle. The success of a person in any undertaking will hinge directly upon his making certain that he relegates his tension relieving acts to a secondary position. This gives our lives balance as well as much needed break from the routine. And our affirmation for today, today I will find the delicate balance between pursuing my goals and relieving stress. Today I will find the delicate balance between pursuing my goals and relieving stress. So let me check the comments here. Big Mike says, good morning, everyone. And Latasha says, good morning, Tammy. How's it going? Good morning, good morning. How's it in the ATL? Do y'all have a rainy day there as well? So you guys, as I said, I'm really going to be quick on this one. It's really self-explanatory. I will say this. As I think about the few days ago where we were going to be mindful, come up with a way to be more intentional about our goals. And I still don't know if anybody decided to do it, and really don't know why. Um, does that mean you didn't decide to do anything, that you didn't take the time to kind of hone in on your goals? I believe that when the stress comes when we don't truly have a vision, right, for the goal, it's not written down, and that we have an understanding and a plan for it. Because if you don't plan, the world will plan for you. You will be so distracted. It's almost like you have to have your goal everywhere in your car, to be reminded, because there's so many things that we are caught up in, right? I think about social media, TV, so many things that just draws us in and away from just the simplicity, the joy of life. I think there's so much that comes out of learning to detached from it all. Yesterday I had, and typically that's kind of my day anyway. It was totally quiet here. No TV. No, I did not turn the TV on. Right. And I'll hear people ask me, well, did you hear about this? And do you know about this? I'm like, no, I don't care to know. Now that's just me. It may be something else for you, but there's always something that we could pull away from that is causing stress, right? So we have to make the time, number one, to rest, to rest. The way I feel today compared to how I felt yesterday, I mean, literally, it felt like my body was shutting down. Like I left the house to go to the bank, and I told Brandon I literally wanted to come out of the bank and pull over on the side of the bank and just sleep for a minute. That's how I felt. Like it felt like my body was saying, no more, no more. And so I thought, well, I can't do that because they might, think something's wrong with me and come out here and, try to, I don't know. So I said, okay, I'm just going to make it home. I'm just going to make it home. And that's what I did. And I just made it to the couch, right? Hour or so. But it should not get to that point. It should not get to the point where your body says, mm-mm, where you feel like it, right? So I've not been doing diligence to myself and making sure that I take care of me, right? Whatever that looks like. So I'm going to take this back to have a clear vision of your goal. What's important to you? What's important to you? It says, wouldn't it be interesting if we surveyed the average individual to determine how much time is devoted to goal achieving acts? Y'all, do y'all have a goal? Can I get an answer on that? Can we do that today? Do you have a goal? What's important to you in life? Do you have a goal? Come on, drop the comments in. I'm going to look for a post of one of my classmates that I saw a few days ago that was spot on. Spot on. So while I look for that, y'all tell me if you have a goal. You don't have to tell me what it is. We won't get into that. But do you have a goal? Okay, so listen to this. I hope it's okay because I won't say who it is. I think it's okay. He put it on Facebook. Life is not complicated. It's a gigantic manufactured ant farm, and we're the ants. When you realize that you were born into bondage and into a system that requires 30 to 50 years of your life toiling either yourself or something else just to achieve a false sense of comfort and control, you will realize that almost everything you've been conditioned to believe as normal is absolute BS. He said the word, but I'll say BS. The 5-day work week, weekends, holidays, body image, your manner of dress, working hard. You do know that based upon the Old Testament, hard work was given as a punishment, and so much more. All BS. Don't believe me? Ask anyone retired with no bill collectors knocking on their door. Ask anyone who doesn't have to adhere to a schedule of any type. Ask about the freedom and elation that comes from not being accountable to anyone or anything, especially the expectations of so-called indoctrinated normalcy. It's liberating. Just something to ponder on an early Thursday morning. It's nothing you're doing wrong. It's just our system, and there's nothing you can do about it. Sort of like not being able to choose your parents. I found that very interesting. And if you want to read it again for yourself, Dennis Parnell, who is a classmate of mine. So when I read that yesterday, it said something to me. It said something to me, right? So what is important to you? I long for the day. I remember always, before grandkids, I had this vision of Brandon and his wife, and it was before he was married. I had the opportunity to just sit out on a porch at my house, waiting on them to drop the grandbabies off, right? I just always had that vision of what it would feel like and be like to have the opportunity and the time to be a grandma, right? To be a grandma. Now, is it happening the way that I visioned it? Not right now. And I would like for it to before they're too old. And that's why, whether I'm tired, I don't care how I feel, if I have an opportunity to spend some time with them, I'm going to make it. So to me, life is so much more about time, right? What do you do with your time? And what you do, does it feed your spirit? Does it feed you in a way that it doesn't add to your stress? Time management, right? So doing this, I thought about it this morning, like how many mornings could I have slept just a little bit longer? Just a little bit longer. That hour would have made a big difference, right? So what do I have to do? I have to make sure that I get it, that I get in bed, right? And I'm not sitting up watching TV, adding to my tension, to my stress, right? So it's about discipline. But more importantly, and before discipline, but to be disciplined, you got to know how to be disciplined and what for, how to manage that, how to not be distracted, how to know when to turn the lights off, the TV, and go to bed, or to sit out like I did yesterday morning on that patio and just listen to God's nature, to the sounds, right, coming from nature who depends on God. Just imagine that. Just imagine. I heard the birds chirping. It was totally dark outside, but I could see so much light and hear so much. So much came from those sounds. It was like hearing from God, right? So what is your thing? What helps you relieve the tension or the stress? Do you have a thing? Some of us don't. So we're a ticking time bomb. It doesn't say ticking with it, that we exist. Imagine that, the stress of existing within a time bomb. And that's why, perhaps, this is why we explode. We say things to people that we really don't mean. We're tired. We're stressed. We're stretched beyond our limits. So people don't get the best of us, right? And then we're not Zolly. As Zolly said, Grandma, I'm so sorry. I know I was grumpy, but I just didn't feel good. See, we don't say that. We don't say that. We just keep building these what's the word for it? These relationships that are put. We keep doing things that pull us away from the people that we really do care about, right? But because we exist within a time bomb, because we don't have adequate methods to relieve the stress. So maybe we can add that to it, right? To the goals. Did anybody drop anything out here about your goals? Let's see. Big Mike says, I place my goals on my refrigerator and also reminders of my accomplishments for reminders of how far I've come. That's awesome. Because I think that gives you, if you realize how far you've come, perhaps you will understand how much farther you can go. And it'll help you, it'll inspire you to keep going, to keep going. Because if you don't, then you will stay stagnant. And truth be told, y'all, most of us are not living. We're just existing. If that, we're just running the rat race, right? And if you're not living, right, what are you doing? If God grants you another day, right, but you're not truly living in it, you're just existing, waiting for the next cycle of the day to come back, and you do it all over again with the stress, right? So Miss Brenda says, yes, I have goals. One of them was to get healthier, and I'm achieving that. I feel so much better. Great, Miss Brenda. I know that you're getting up, making it happen. You and Mike are out there getting your groove on. Miss Brenda also says, Tammy, I remember a while back you asked about our goals, and we were supposed to have a show about our goals, but we didn't have the show. I wrote down my goals, but I have misplaced my paper. Well, this time I asked you guys to send it to me because I thought no one did it. And I said, well, if no one did it, there's no reason for me to have a show about it. But if y'all did it, let's do it. If you guys did that, I would like to do it because it helps us help each other, right? And something I think about birthing, talking about your goal to people who also have goals, right? And who knows, maybe we can help each other hone in on those goals. So I asked for people to send me the message if you had worked on it, if you were doing something, because I said, if you're not, then I'm not going to set up a show. So if you all did and you want to have that show, let's do it. Let's do it. But I have to be mindful, again, of my time, and that's why I said, well, I'm just not going to ask about it anymore. So, Ms. Brenda, if I missed your message, if you sent me one, I don't know, let me know that because I didn't get anything from anybody, and that's what I meant a few days ago. So, I do think it's a great idea to do it because I had even mentioned that maybe we could do it on a Zoom call so that we can have everybody, a private Zoom to where we can kind of have it like a meeting and everybody gets to be expressive about their goal, their plan for their goal, how they're going to, and we can add this to it, relieve the stress to make sure that they're present for their goal, fully present. So that's all I have today. The affirmation today, I will find the delicate balance between pursuing my goals and relieving stress. I also think we should do a self evaluation to determine, right, how much of what you do is towards or for your goals versus what's not. Process of elimination, right? So this is again speaking to me as well. So that's all I have, you guys. I'm gonna get you out of here so that I can find a a way to have to delegate balance between pursuing my goals and relieving stress, right? And I don't see mine as so much as stress, it's fatigue. I will go, 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 go until I get to a point where I got yesterday. Today, I'll start it all over again. In a few months, I'll go through the same process. Or maybe not. Because maybe if I do this, right? For me, it's making sure I get rest, knowing when to stop before I'm forced to. That's healthy balance, right? That's knowing when to say yes and when to say no, even to yourself, right? That's what it's about. It's about, being the CEO in your life, making the CEO choices for your life, right? So it's different for everybody. Regardless, we all need it. We all need the balance. We all need to create what balance looks like to us and know how to make it happen. So know your goals. If you don't have a goal for your life, if you don't have a goal for your life and a plan for it, you will fall for anything and everything before you know it. You'll be caught up in things and in people, right? Before you know it. And then you'll see those things and those people as part of your journey, right? Staycation in a location that you were not sent to, not supposed to be in. It's my new thing. Sometimes we'll go and have a staycation in places and with people who were not a part of our journey. But because we don't assess, we don't take the time, we don't know our goals for our lives, we don't know that we're going on the way to California. I say that. That's California is your end place, right? Then why are you traveling a total opposite direction? Right? And that's what we do sometimes. So hone in on your goal. If you don't have one, do that today, you guys. Just kind of journal, just write. Just sit down for a few minutes and just write something to yourself. Right? Whatever it is, whatever it's about, that's on you. But just write something. How are you feeling right now about life? Right? What makes you happy? What brings you joy? What's the difference between happy and joy and all excited and joyful, right? What brings you down? What gets you in a space and a place that you can't seem to come out of? What are you fearful of and why? So these are the kind of things that to me is taking control of your life. But if you just keep running around with doing the same thing with the same emotions and feelings and not ever really talking about them, not making sure that you are relieving your stress, making sure that you are not existing within a time bomb. And who gets it? Who gets the leashing out when you are that time bomb? Who gets it? Right? So that's all I have. Y'all be great today. I'm going to get out of here and go work on some balance for me and get out here in this rain and make it happen. All right. So y'all be great. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. And y'all let me know. Send me a message about the goals if you want to do that. And I think we'll do it on Zoom if you guys want to do it. We'll do a private Zoom meeting. But you have to let me know that that's what you want to do. All right. So y'all be great. Let's get ready to groove on out. Get your groove on, y'all. Groove. Groove on it, y'all. Go do life today.